Ronnie Shields, one of the top trainers in boxing, say only way he can compete with you is if you're against the ropes. That's where Charlo was in that replay.
And that's about the only place that Santana's had any advantage. In the middle of the ring, Charlo has been in control. And now Santana tries to put the pressure on once again. And you can see Charlo fighting almost exclusively with that left hand until he lines up that right uppercut.
Yeah, it seems like sometimes his right hand is just a setup punch for the hook and the jab. So it's very rare that you find a fighter that's fighting from the front that much, because everything is coming from the power comes from the back in a straight line with the right hand.
Keep in mind that tonight Charlo is fighting with a left hand that's been banged up a little bit during training. Said he injured it back in March. It delayed a fight, but he has been going since then, although it hurts him with a lot of punches, particularly his jab. We've seen him use a lot tonight.
And like I told him in the fighters meeting, when you hurt your hand, you're out of business. It's very important that these fighters take care of their hands in practice as well as in the fight.
Yeah, I didn't get that. He said he didn't have the time to recover, to take time off. He's 21 years old. He's got all the time in the world.
Feeling that he'd fall too far behind the competition if he took time off. So he's in there and he's using that left hand effectively tonight, though. Ducks a couple of punches along the way. Shown some good defense as well.
Yeah, he can bend at the waist and let the left hooks fly over his head. He's done that.
Santana coming forward, missing with both those. And just trying to wrap up.
And he's been doing a lot of that missing, and it really doesn't look good in the judges' eyes when you see an opponent miss so much. But at the same time, Charlo needs to make him pay when he does miss. He has to work on his counterpunching ability.
I think one thing we could say safely after only 3 rounds, Charlo does not have a lot of natural punching power. Sometimes speed can be power, and he's pretty fast and he throws that nice right uppercut. But as far as pure power, doesn't have it yet.
And Stevie's still young, but that's something that you can increase on. That's something that you can get in the gym and work that heavy bag, work the mitts. But his trainer's going to have to focus on the power. It's something that he can definitely improve on.
It looks like he's got a lot of the other skills. Good control of the ring, at least against the opponent tonight. Good movement, pretty good defense. Just doesn't seem to be able to make Santana pay, at least not yet. And he gets caught, stepping in. Santana working the body before he gets the two broken up. At the end here, round 3. Well, James Brown, Phil Simms, Chris Collinsworth, and Warren Sapp break down the NFL on Inside the NFL. New episodes premiere Wednesdays at 9 with replays throughout the week and following tonight's boxing telecast.
Last weekend, Jets lost, Giants won. That's a good weekend. If you're a Giants fan, I think in general it's a good weekend, no?
Don't come up with a big hook. Just come up and touch it for me, okay? Once we start finding that range, then we can rip a little bit more.
It's time to slow down. Okay? I find that gap in the body.
Good. Hey, let's go, baby. Come back to the hook right here. Okay? You gotta sit down with that now. Okay? Stay on the rope. Stay on the rope.
Well, it's pretty clear as we begin round 4, at least on our scorecards. Charlo, the dominant fighter, having won all 3 rounds. I think according to all 3 of us, correct?
Correct.
The second round was close, but I had to go with Charlo on that as well. His jab dictated and dominated that round.
Ready to get through round 4 here, halfway through this fight.
And Kurt, again, Ronnie Shields right on point. What he told Charlo was, you got to sit down and he punches a little more. And if he does that, he won't need to back to the ropes.
And that's been about the only place that Santana's been able to have an advantage. Jermell Charlo told us in the fighter meeting he's aware of the perception that he's a skilled fighter without much power, doesn't get too busy unless the opponent breaks it to him, and was out to try and change that tonight. But through 3 rounds, it's kind of been a little bit more the same.
doesn't help either from Santana's standpoint that this is an 8, not 10 rounder. But Santana hasn't been past 6, but usually the pressure fighter wants more time to break down the busier, more mobile fighter. Santana doesn't have that. We're already almost halfway through.
I think it'll be in Santana's best interest is if he punch with Charlo. I think it gives him an opportunity to maybe land a big punch or a counter punch over top of Charlo's speed punches.
And that seems to be a strategy here of late. All of a sudden, every time Charlo punches, he goes right with him.
Yeah, but you see the distance right now. He can't afford to stay on the outside like that because that's where Charlo is at home at. That's where he can dictate everything with his speed and his quickness.
More juking and dancing and punching from either guy.
I think Santana's frustrated.
Doesn't know what to do?
Yeah, I think he tried coming forward, applying more steady pressure. It didn't work. Getting out punched by the quicker fighter. As a result, he's getting a little timid.
And you know, a lot of missing to do that as well. He's right there. He's so close, but it seems like he can't get that punch off. That'll frustrate any fighter. Stop. No, no.
We always talk about how styles make fights. Well, Santana's one main opponent was Green Mayfield, an undefeated prospect, but totally different body type. Short, chunky guy, as opposed to Charlo, who's tall, thin, and moves a lot.
And athletic.
And what we just saw here was he double jabbed to get in a little closer. And believe it or not, he was in range to land a pretty good right hand from Charlo. So that's something we haven't seen tonight.
Final 10 seconds of round 4. Santana starts to step it up again. But once again, it's probably too little too late to win that round.
Okay? When he do it, okay, but listen, when he in that 10-second barrel rate, you see what he's doing, right? He's trying to steal the round. Okay? Okay? What do you got to think of? Okay, this is good. Okay, get that drink. Now listen, I want you to back his ass up. Okay?
Action from round 4. We talked about punching at the same time. There you see, actually, all 4 punches came one after the other in response to the other guy's punch. Maybe that's the ticket for Santana, but I don't know if he has a hand speed to do it. And that's the punch I talked about in behind the numbers. The jab for Charlo setting up that straight right hand. But again, he ain't no puncher.
So we're working at the end of the round, too. Just like you're doing, okay? Get in there and work. Once you throw this just a little bit, but I want to be happy with you.
Crossing the halfway point of the scheduled 8-round fight. Undefeated Jermell Charlo taking on Francisco Santana. Kurt Menefee, Steve Farhood, and Antonio Tarver with you ringside here from Las Vegas. As we begin round number 5. Santana trying to catch Charlo against the ropes again, work the body. Be aggressive.
Yeah, and like they mentioned earlier, Ray Shields, when he was in between rounds, he does this 10 seconds. He hear that bell, that's what he does. He jumps on him. But now he needs to jump on him early so he have more opportunities to maybe make something big happen here.
Because Charlo has been in control of every round thus far tonight. This is a big night for Charlo. This is the first time he's fighting on national television. First time here on Showbox, obviously, if that's the case. He told us he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulder tonight, carrying a lot of weight.
He's a young man. There is a lot of pressure. And you know what? I asked him yesterday about his style and what if people, fans, find him a little on the boring side because he is such a strict boxer. He said, I'm going to win the fans over with my style. I thought that was the right answer.
You are what you are. At least as of now. But as you mentioned, 21 years old, still time to develop some of that power, add a couple of punches, and maybe become a tad more exciting. Good left hook like that will help, but Santana answered it as well.
I think Santana got the best of that. It looks like Charlo buckled a little bit there, and that's what I mentioned earlier about punching with the speed fight.
Santana maybe a little bit of frustration there.
You know what? He needs to do a little more of that.
the crowd into it as much as they have been all night long.
You know, we don't normally associate the jab as being a classic counter punch. But Charlo can counter with that jab very well.
A good double jab there. And he gets caught with a stiff right hand by Santana. Santana's had a couple of punches this round, but they've been too few and far between.
I don't know if there's much Santana can do to turn this around, but one thing when he gets close, maybe try a hook to the body, then the hook to the head.
About the only time he's worked the body really is when he's had Charlo against the ropes.
And if you see Santana, he hasn't once tried to cut the ring off, beat Charlo to the spot. He's just there following him. That's a good right hand.
And once again, you get to the final 10 seconds and they begin to brawl. Santana trying to steal another round, but once again, probably too little, too late.